This one's going to be a little bit different. Hello, Alex here, back in the shed. I got something really different for this channel. This is actually my personal Proton pack that I've had in storage for 13 years. No, I'm not joking. I've had this in my closet for 13 years. Over the last decade, I've slowly collected all the pieces to finish this thing. Today is October 1st. My goal is to get this thing done for October 29th. There's a parade here in town. We compete in it every year. The last couple of years it's been canceled because COVID, so this is the first time we have in the parade since COVID. My niece is a big Ghostbusters nut, so before COVID I made her a pack and a costume, and on Halloween we went around and competed in all the competitions, and she took first place 3 times in 3 different events. So this year we stepped it up. My buddy Ethan, his YouTube channel can be found here, he decided to turn his car, his everyday car, into an Ecto tribute. So over the past couple months, him and I, when I have time, have been slowly converting the car over. Now that we got it pretty damn close to be finished, I showed the leader of the parade, and he asked us to lead the actual parade. So now, the main reason for finishing this is that I can walk in the parade with my niece and have my own pack. This pack's going to be a little bit different though, so hear me out. In Ghostbusters 1 they made 9 packs. 4 stunts, 4 heroes, and 1 which we call the superhero, or in the Ghostbusters community they refer to it as the prototype, but I think superhero sounds much better. This pack was created with measurements off the actual superhero. When it was in the Sony lobby, a couple of die-hard fans were able to get behind the glass and measure everything, and that's where this pack came from. There's a few key differences on the superhero pack than the rest of them, so I'm going to go over that right now. The main, well, probably the biggest visual difference is the Alice frame is bolted right to the motherboard. The rest of the hero packs had a spacer in there. This one is, well, it's actually riveted to the motherboard. I'm going to bolt mine because I like things reversible. The next big key thing is the booster tube. On the heroes, it sits about maybe an 1/8 inch higher here, and the nub inside protrudes out of the tube. As with the superhero, the tube is much taller and the nub sits flush with the booster tube. The HGA is actually just about 3/16 longer than this one that I have. So I have to fabricate a new HGA. I also have to fabricate a new booster because whoever made this for me messed up on the degree I sent them, so it's too short. So I have to fabricate a new one. Another big tell to spot the superhero is the bumper. The bumper is actually put on there backwards or upside down. Some people say it's upside down. So the recessed area is here. There's key other little things to spot it, like the PPD, the stickers down real low, little cosmetic things. But that's primarily the major tells. And realistically, you barely see this thing throughout the movie. You see it real quick when Winston's walking up the stairway to Dana's apartment. He's actually wearing the superhero. You can tell because the particle thrower is completely black. All the knobs are painted black. And then Peter and Winston switch the pack back and forth while they're on the rooftop fighting Gozer. Actually, when they flip it on, heat him up, and you see the bar graph going, that's the superhero because that's the only one with a functioning bar graph. But that's the basic rundown of the superhero. Like I said, today's October 1st. That gives me 29 days to complete this thing. I have everything I need, the electronics, the thrower, all the parts. I need to fabricate these 2 parts. I don't have a welder right now. The shop I have, we've packed up all our tools and we're about to move, so I don't have a welder. But my friend has a massive aluminum fabrication shop. I already talked to him and I'm hoping I can fabricate this stuff up this week and Saturday morning head over there and have him weld it together for me. So that's the plan right now. What I'd like to accomplish today is mount the shell to the motherboard and start putting all my parts on here. Get a basic fit for everything, and then I might just have to make a jig to hold the booster tube and the ion arm when he goes to weld it because we don't want that warping. So I might have to make a jig for that. So before we start working on this thing, I just want to state this one more time. This is a superhero tribute, which is different than the rest of the hero packs. So be advised, if you're using this as a tutorial, this is for superhero pack only. 13 years in the making. Let's start this thing. these, but this is just for mock-up. Rightfully, these will all get washers though. It's too dangerous to have them like this. You could easily pull this screw right through the fiberglass. Alright, so it just turned 8 o'clock. I'm calling it for tonight. I have a race tomorrow. It's the last race of the season. And we're going to be racing in the remnants of Hurricane Ivan. So it's not going to be fun. I still have a lot of stuff to do to get ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to pack it up early tonight. I made a pretty big dent in this. It may not look like a lot of work to you guys, but this is a huge step to me considering I've had it for 13 years. So one thing I left out is I have a lot of vintage stuff for this pack that I've been collecting over the years. I'm finally digging through boxes and finding bits and pieces here and there, but I don't think I'm going to put the vintage stuff on it while I go out. After Halloween, this is going to hang on the wall until next Halloween. I'm going to replace the parts with the vintage parts. So when it's on the wall on display, I have the vintage parts, and then if I go out trooping with it, I'll put the replica parts on. So that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this in episodes or one long video. I still don't know that yet. So regardless, next time you see me, we're going to be working on this. So thank you all for watching. Keep an eye out for the next video. This is Haloax.